Florida man held woman for ransom. Woman for ransom in motel after learning she was a transgender. Joshua DeBarge Lucas, 34 years old, was taken into custody for an alleged kidnapping that took place on January 14th at a Saturn motel in Miami, Mimo district. Lucas grew upset following the completion of a sex act. Sorry, of a sex act when he learned the victim was transgendered. Now, this is something I've always been curious about. Then, hey, I'm just curious. Okay. Now I'm a little confused. When y'all do what y'all do, are all the lights off? Like, is the room completely dark? Is the sucking through a straw being done solely? Is there something else happening? Are we eating some cereal or is it just sucking through a straw? I'm also curious. Are we opening the back door on the first date? Is that a red flag or is it like, whatever? Was there actual deception going on, or did you know and then you got mad after you opened up the nut with the nutcracker? Or I guess I'm confused. Was there actual deception actually going on? I just feel like there's obvious signs. I mean, let's continue. Lucas allegedly called a friend and together they held the victim at gunpoint, forcing her to send a text message to a friend that read, quote unquote, text me around 5:45 p.m. When the friend responded with the FaceTime call, Lucas reportedly went to the phone's camera and demanded $200 or that they will hurt the victim. He reportedly told the friend he felt disrespected by the victim and further expressed concern that the sexual encounter with the trans woman would violate his beliefs as a black Hebrew Israelite, a Southern poverty law centered designated hate group. Which I don't know if I would necessarily say that, but okay. Now, I'm just curious. I don't know much about his Hebrew Israelites and stuff like that. Are they okay with casual sex? Because you said you felt disrespected, that you had sex with the trans. So are they okay with casual sex then? Because that's what this is. I'm assuming this wasn't the first. I'm assuming this was the first time actually. So it's casual sex on the table, but they just don't want you having sex with another man. But can you just have community D? I'm confused. Because then I'm like, okay, if they're okay with it, are you okay? Let's continue. Police claim Lucas told the victim's friend that the pair were high at the time of the sex act and only became angry after he sobered up. Okay. So that means it sounds like to me you knew that he had a D. Okay? You knew this was a he. And you were like, yeah, that's still cool. And then you became sober. And then you're like, it's still okay with me, but oh man, my religious beliefs. That's how it sounds to me. Okay, Lucas's unidentified friend reportedly was seen on screen flashing a gun and participating in a call demanding a ransom of the $200. The victim's friend recorded the call, which they shared with police immediately after the call ended. Police quickly responded to the motel where they found the victim, but not Lucas and his accomplice who have fled the scene, of course. Lucas was arrested without incident at his home following an investigation. He told arresting officers the incident was a misunderstanding, that he only demanded $20 for Uber. So you still held that ransom. That's still ransom, yeah. He said he only wanted $20 for the Uber, that the victim's friend had misheard his request I'm not entirely sure if there was deception. Because the guy said when he was drunk or high, whatever, he was okay with it. But then he said when he sobered up, then he started thinking about his religious whatever. And then now he's not okay with it. But that seems to me, could be wrong, that you were okay with it regardless. So I don't know. But what I will say is this. In terms of deception and all that kind of stuff, yeah, let people know up front what's going on. Okay? Because you have some people who will kill you because they don't like to be lied to. They don't like to be deceived. And people can say, "Oh, well, I'm just joking." Ha 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 ha. Not when you're 6 feet under. Okay. So at the end of the day, let people know, because if you're that confident in yourself and whatever, you should be able to just let people know immediately this is what's going on, just so you know. Just so you know, I know. Okay. And then they could make a decision whether or not they want to continue talking to you, engage with you, whatever. Here, the guy seemed like he may have already knew. Okay. He may have already known, but he just wanted to get some Badusi so bad. He just didn't care at that moment until later on. He's like, ooh, but them Hebrew Israelites may not like it. Ugh, so maybe I got to do something. And now you're going to be in jail for waving a gun at somebody, uh, threatening to kill somebody, and extortion and holding people hostage, you and your homeboy. Was it worth it? Was it worth it? Seriously. But let me know what you all think down below.